My teacher says you have to be a yana datta as well as a karma datta, a giver of knowledge as well as a giver of action. So first, I'll give you the knowledge of mudra, the gestures that help you compose yourself and bring you into your heart center. Remember, according to the Indian tradition, intelligence is in the heart, not the head. So you open your palm, put your thumb into your palm, wrap the fingers around the palm like that. And do that on both hands. Thumb into the palm, wrap the fingers around the palm, turn the palms upwards, and bring them into the root of your thigh. So that gives you the Adi Mudra, AADI. And this is for developing, first of all, stimulation of the marma point in the center of your palm. The marma points are like the acupressure points in the Hindu tradition. And then you want to get your seat. You want to find the composure of your seat. So if you're slumped down like that, there's a kind of, like we say, slouching acts like a dope to the body. So if you could take each vertebra as if it was a bead, right, and you put the bead on the string, and pull it down, right, and you stack the beads like that, and then you pull the string like that, all of a sudden there's that verticality of the plumb line. That's number one. Then number two is slump down with your head moving forward like that. You want to lift up and move the neck up and back so the forehead becomes parallel from the front brain to the back brain. That's really important. So you got that, okay? Next thing is a reminder that from the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, there are four aspects of practice, four chapters: the asana practice, the pranayama practice, the mudra practice, and the last one called nada anusandara. And nada means the absorption into the inner sound. And it's hard to understand what they're talking about because it seems like we're going into a place where they say concepts and images fall away. Even a sense of one's own individuality doesn't seem to have any meaning. And is there any kind of reflection of that in the modern world to understand what are they talking about? There sure is. The quantum field theory tells us that at the heart of creation lies the vacuum state, the state of perfect order, zero entropy. Unbounded in time and space, it is the empty source of all light and matter in the universe, an area of pure potential, an exact objective counterpart to the yogi's subjective experience of the self. Well, whether we believe that or not, according to the yoga scriptures, it's pranayama that removes the veil that prevents you from seeing the light. And that takes us to the next step where we're starting to really internalize these teachings. So let's get it going today. You have your Ayadi Mudra, palm facing up. This affects the Vayana, or the Udana Vayu in the throat. You're going to express yourself much better with greater courage and clarity. So as you lift your spine, and now Jalandhara Bandha is no longer with the head, forehead parallel to the back brain. Now we're tucking the chin down and creating that neck lock to make sure there's not too much energy that's going to rise into the skull. So take a couple of long, slow, deep, easy breaths, and we're going to continue our practice of Ujjayi, Surya Bedna, and Pratiloma, but today we're adding Antar, which is the internal retention for 6, 8, or 10 seconds, depending on your capacity. But we're also going to continue with cycles one after the other and only take a restorative breath should you need it. Remember, newcomers or beginners, err on the side of caution. And if you want to do one breath cycle and one restorative pose, feel free. But for the other people who've been practicing with me these last couple of weeks, accept the challenge level. So exhale your breath. Here we go. First one, you raise your hand. Open both nostrils wide, inhale. And exhale. All right, so the first minute or so, I want you to just work on open nostril, inhale, open nostril, exhale. That's Ujjayi breathing. Take your time. Pranayama, as all yoga practice, is one other way that we desire to better ourselves, by whatever means. So controlling the breath, as it says in the Yoga Vashista, is one way of moving the prana and then stopping the prana. And when the prana stops, the mind stops. So now, after you've done 3 or 4 simple Ujjayi inhale and exhale cycles, then the next thing you're going to do is going to start to narrow the nostrils, partially close them. On the inhale, you take your next breath in. On the exhale, however, you widen the nostrils and exhale and open them, and out you go. And now you continue that cycle for another minute. Now, for time's sake, I'm only doing these things like 1 minute for each variation. But in your home practice, I certainly suggest that you do it for longer than that, depending on how much time you want to allot to your practice. But 15 or 20 minutes is really a good way to begin. And if you can even do it longer than that, now you have nothing but unbroken time. So enjoy the lockdown. Effortless is what we're talking about. Silent is what we're talking about. Then we're going to switch to the third part of the first round, and that's going to be narrow the nostrils when you inhale. Now hold the breath and wait. Then open both nostrils wide and exhale slowly, smoothly, silently, softly. And proceed now in that vein. Partially closed nostrils on the inhale. Hold the breath, Antar after the inhale. Smoothly let it out through both nostrils on the exhale, and repeat. So part of the stress management science is that we are trying to inhibit or slow down or shut off the activating systems, our sympathetic nervous system, and we want to arouse or increase in its capacity to function the quieting parts of our nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, where all the stress management, cortisol, anti-cortisol chemicals are going to quiet our brain down. So that's what we're doing here. Okay. Now, moving into the second round. On our next cycle, raise your hand, block your left, inhale through the open right nostril, and then exhale through the open left nostril. Block the right, open left. That's your template, and now continue for the next minute. Inhaling through the open right, exhaling through the open left. Very, very simple. Now, as we're doing that, you want to notice where the breath is moving, right? You might feel the breath in the pelvic area, you might feel the breath in the diaphragmatic area, you might feel the breath in the intercostal area, you might feel the breath in the clavicular area. Right, so fill as much as you can, utilizing the front, the sides, and the back body simultaneously. All right, now, into the second minute. Continue the technique, but now it's partially closing the right nostril as you inhale. Opening the left nostril wide as you exhale. And continue with that cycle. Now, of course, as soon as you narrow the nostril, the time it takes for the breath to move through will be longer. And this is a technique, as we said, solar energizing technique. So we're trying to increase the amount of energy that we have and stimulate ourselves, but at the same time, by slowing the breath down, we'll be calm amidst the stimulation. Interesting combination. So move the prana slowly, and like all yoga, there's a musculoskeletal pump that happens as a result of moving the pressure from higher to a lower area or lower to a higher area by body posture and change in the rate and volume of the breath. All right, so now you've done 1 minute of partially closed right nostril inhale, open left nostril exhale. Now, the third cycle within this second round. You block the left, partially close the right nostril, and inhale. And now hold, Antar Kumbhak. How long you hold? Feel it percolating. If the body's not rebelling or trembling, you're fine. And then you block the right, open the left, and exhale. Keep right on going in a smooth flow. Notice if you have to widen the nostril or narrow the nostril to make sure that the passage of breath is smooth, unruffled. So do the best you can, or at least learn what are your way. What is your way? How do you react to the change in the difficulty of the pranayama technique? So now it's partially closed right nostril inhale, Antar kumbhak, internal retention, and then block right, open left exhale, and continue that way for another cycle or two. Now, as we get to the last section, the pratiloma, against the grain, we're going to inhale right, exhale both, inhale left, exhale both, open nostril first, then inhale with the partially closed nostril, exhale through open both, and then we'll do the partially closed nostril inhale, but then we'll do it also with Antar kumbhak. All right? So make the smooth transition after your next exhale without a break. Take a restorative breath if you need it. You raise the hand, you block the left, you inhale through open right, then you open both as you exhale. Purposely make the inhale longer than the exhale. You block the left, you block the right, you open left and inhale. You open both and you exhale. Continue in that vein for a few more cycles. So I hope you got the pattern. Open nostril first, partially closed nostril second, and then partially closed nostril with the Antar kumbhak third. So by now, you're really peaking in your ability to streamline the breath, make it auto-smooth, the texture auto-smooth, sandpaper any roughness out of it. No noise is good noise. And remember, as the breath moves, it goes sideways, outward towards the lateral portion of the floating ribs, and then upwards toward the armpits, almost like a smile, while you're doing the digital control. All right. Now, morph into the second part of the cycle, and that's where we're doing partially closed right nostril inhale. It's going to take longer. Open nostrils exhale. And block the right, partially closed left nostril inhale. Open both nostrils exhale. You're on your own. So now you're finding out that even though you're acting, you have to ask yourself, is dynamism just physical movement, or is there vibrancy and stillness? And of course, it seems like you're not doing much, but so much is really going on. So find the vibrant stillness even in the midst of practicing the technique and watching whatever your mind says, tries to get your attention, focus back on the pranayama technique. All right, and then the final technique is the Antar kumbhak. So you're blocking left, you're partially closing right as you inhale. And then you hold your breath. Open both nostrils as you exhale without a sound. Then you block the right, you partially close the left and breathe in. You hold the breath internally. Open both nostrils and exhale. And now do another round or two, perfecting to the best of your ability. Surrounding yourself in an impenetrable wall of silence. just as in asana, yoga, karma sukha yoga is skill in action. So apply yourself with the very best that you have within you, with all your clarity. Then you're going to finish one more round of partially closed right nostril inhale. Antar, come back, hold the breath. Open both nostrils, exhale. And one more time, partially closed left nostril inhale. Antar, come back, hold the breath. Open both nostrils, exhale. Then relax your hands back into Adi Mudra. Thumb into palm, fingers wrapped around, palms facing up. Take a few restorative breaths here. Open your eyes. You're done. I hope the energy carries you through the day. Have a beautiful day. See you mañana.